am super excited. I love us, as I like to say. So if Andres and Charles will keep letting everybody in, I'm going to hit record.
Recording in progress.
Perfect. So good morning. Today is, oh my gosh, it's February 11th. How can that be? It's almost Valentine's Day. What? Oh my goodness. 2023 is just steaming right along. And today is what we call coffee and conversation. And it's my favorite because I'm the mushy one of the crew, I think. I think there's a few others, but I get to lead the charge. But this is a day of inspiration and hope and stories. If you guys have ever been on our Wednesday introduction, sorry, but if you guys see me a little squirreled, everyone's always texting for links and things early before we start an event. But we do an introduction to real estate investing online on Wednesdays, and we do it live in South Florida, Atlanta, and Orlando, soon to be Tampa. And we're looking at adding some other cities to Team TGIF. But when we do that, I always say when I tell my story that I am one tiny piece of a story, really one story in so many. I mean, for you guys in the community with me, have you ever in your life heard so many stories? It's like a candy store, isn't it? If you're like, you can just go from community member to community member and hear something inspiring. And it's pretty amazing to be able to surround yourself with people who are just learning and trying to be better every day. So if you're new here, welcome. We're really excited to have you. We are a nationwide community of real estate investors. And as I mentioned, we're a little team. We're a tiny team. I wouldn't say we're tiny, but we're a piece of that nationwide community. We decided to band together during COVID, which I'm so grateful for. And we created between Georgia and Florida, Team TGIF. But since then, we have brought along people from all over the country that, wanted to hang out with us. And so we've got some fabulous leaders and people that, I really have great respect for and super, super grateful. So as I mentioned, I'm just one tiny piece of a story. So if you're here for the first time, you're going to want to, buckle up. This is going to be amazing. This is not a rehearsed event. There are no slides. There's no plan. Most of the time I get myself ready and psyched up for this because I'm so excited about who I get to talk to 30 minutes before it happens, because I don't really know. I don't know a lot about the person that I'm going to be talking to. This is kind of an Oprah Winfrey style interview. So buckle up and we're going to have questions and we are going to learn together. And it's just raw and real. And what more can you ask for, especially if you're trying to inspire yourself, change the trajectory of your life? We got that for you because that's what we're doing every day. Every day. If I'm not pushing every day, Matthew Rand will call me and go, "What are you doing? You're not." Keep pushing, Debbie. And I love that. I don't want to do life with anybody else, right, Carla? We need you too. Like push, as Antonio and I say, push the people, push the people. So anyway, I've been in the community 7 years, if you can believe it. And it's been amazing. So for me, like I said, I'm one tiny piece of a story. I'm working on deal number 30, but it's a lot more. It's more than just a real estate deal. It's about financial literacy. It's about getting out of your comfort zone. It's about growing into a bigger and better person, managing your finances. In fact, really just cash flow, like Bill likes to say. In fact, let me remind Bill that we're on. He has got his chores. So, okay. Anyway, it's about just living your best life, and cash flow is Bill's favorite term. And that's one of the terms that we say a lot around here. And So we have the pleasure of one of our community members, and I'm just going to roll right into our coffee and conversation because that's what we're here for. And I don't know him that well. I love him. I'm going to tell you my thoughts of what I know so far, and then we're going to dig in and learn together. But I know him. He's helpful. He's cheerful. He has a fabulously beautiful family. If you guys saw the flyer that we made, that Andres made. So that's inspiring as it is, it's amazing. And he's always willing to help us. And I've heard through the grapevine that he's had some success, and I've watched him at the closing table. So I can't wait to dig in and hear what in the world has been going on. So what I typically do is I like to know from the beginning, and then I'll move us into the present. So welcome, Jonathan Gomez. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here with us today. How are you?
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the amazing TGIF group and the community that we have here in Grenada. I am, as I told you, usually I'm not the guy on front. I prefer to be the guy on the backstage, but I guess that I have to do it. So yeah, let's do it.
Thank you. You are incredible. I loved what you said to me when I asked you if you would be my guest. And I was so I'll tell you, the inspiration of watching somebody grow and succeed keeps me here. That's why I'm here, been here 7 years. It's so inspiring. And I'm so incredibly happy that I get to do this. So Jonathan, tell me, how long have you been in the community?
I have been with Renatus since August 2019. So 3 years and a row, few months.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, right before 2020, our favorite year, right?
Yeah.
It's so cool. So where are you? So you're in South Florida. Where do you live in South Florida?
Yes, I am here in South Florida. Right now I live in Weston.
Okay.
It's
Weston.
around 20 minutes from Fort Lauderdale.
Awesome.
It's the last city to the east before you go to Naples.
Yes. Okay. Love it. I think I have a timeshare in Weston.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So, now where are you from? Where are you from originally?
I am from Venezuela. I was born in Venezuela. And I grew up in Venezuela. I live all my life in Venezuela. My family, they are from Venezuela and also from Spain. My grandparents, they came from Spain many years ago in the 50s. But yes, we are an immigrant family. And I guess that we have the same history. They immigrated to Venezuela in the 50s and we emigrated from Venezuela 10, 11 years ago. But yes, I am from Venezuela. I spent my whole life living there until 2012 that I left. I studied there, my high school, my university. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration and also in corporate finance. Yeah.
Wow. So, okay. So I don't always like to ask people how old they are, but you look pretty young. So I think it's, don't ever ask me. No, I'm kidding. So how old were you when you came? You had already gone to school. So when you came to, was it Weston, Miami area that you came from Venezuela? Is that your first city
Well,
in the US?
we left Venezuela in 2012. We came here to Miami, yes, because in that time my father used to have a house here in Doral in Miami.
Okay.
We came here and we was looking to stay here in the US, but we never know why things happen, how sometimes happens. But we have to leave because we didn't get the visa to stay here. So we went back to Colombia. We didn't went back to Venezuela. We went to Colombia because we have some friends in Colombia.
Okay.
So we lived in Colombia for 4 years. Actually, my older daughter, she was born in Colombia. She was born in Bogota. That's why I have a lot of friends from Colombia, and I get, when I met somebody who is from Colombia, I feel some kind of connection because I am very grateful for that country or for all the things that we live there. We lived in Colombia during 4 years before coming again to the United States. We decided to leave Venezuela because the situation there was really, really tough, really difficult for everybody. And the company that I used to work in Venezuela, they start having problems with the government in Venezuela. What most of the big companies have on Venezuela. And so we decided to leave to look for another opportunity to see what we can achieve in another place. But we can make the dream here the first time that we came. So we keep trying. In Colombia, I work with a group with my friends there that they have a property management company. That was my first touch with the real estate. Because before that, I didn't know nothing about real estate. The only thing I know is you can buy a house, you can rent a house, and you can sell a house. That's the only thing that I will know in that moment. But we spent 4 years there. My granddaughter was born there. That wasn't the plan. The plan was that we will go back to Venezuela so my wife can, have the baby on Venezuela because over there was all the family, and we can get the help that you usually want to have when you are going to be for first time, parent. But she changed the plans because she was born with only 31 weeks. So she was premature. We didn't have the time to go to Venezuela. We were alone in Colombia with nothing, literally nothing. We don't have any clothes. We don't have any of the thing that you need to have the baby.
Wow.
Yeah, we went on Friday because, she wasn't feeling well. And the doctor say, okay, you need to spend here the night to see what is going on. On Saturday, they say you still need to stay here because you are having some, how you call it, contraction. Things like you maybe are starting, to maybe to have the baby here. And on Sunday, really early in the morning, he say, you know what, you are going to have the baby today. And we start like crazy going out. I need to find, the clothes for the baby, everything. I need to find everything for the baby. I start calling the family, listen, we are going to have the baby right now. And everybody got crazy. You are alone there. You don't have nobody there to help you. And, all that stuff, especially the moms now, the grandmothers wants to be there with you, helping you with the process and everything. But thank God everything went well. My daughter was born. She was really small baby. And she spent 21 days in the hospital because she was too young to come into the world. She was in the incubator for 18 days, and then she spent 5 more days in the UC. And even when we was able to take her to home, she came to home connected with the oxygen. So she was connected 25 hours to the oxygen for almost 40 days. We can move her. She need to be all the time, in the crib. Was a really, hard situation, but thank God everything is fine now. She's a beautiful girl. One of the things that we decided to come into the US is because we was living in Bogota, in Colombia. And the weather over there is really cool. And they have a lot of smoke in the environment. It's not the best weather for a baby who was born premature. And we was thinking about, okay, we need to go to another place where the weather is better for the baby. And we start making all the plans, and we decide to come here today. Okay, let's follow again the American dream.
And
Yeah.
what year was that? So
Sorry,
what year was that? I'm just trying to keep up with my years here.
this was 2017.
Okay.
2017. We start looking for, to make all the thing that we need to do in this time in order to get the visa and the residence and everything that we need to have to stay here. So
Wow.
in August 2017, we finally purchased our ticket to coming here to the US. I came first because we rent actually a certain rental Airbnb,
Mhm.
to stay during the first days. My wife and I, we agree, okay, I'm gonna go first to see that everything is okay, and then you are gonna come with the baby. And that's what we did. I came a couple of days before, and she came a few days after. I have here two brothers, younger brothers. I am the older brother of my family.
Aw.
So I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just only my wife and I, my mother, and that's it.
Wow.
I arrived here. I called my brother. Hey, where are you? And he said, I am here in the Bay Side. He was living in Miami downtown. And I told him, okay, listen, you need to meet this person in the Bay Side. It's a mall in the Miami downtown. He is gonna give you some package that you are gonna receive for me. And I remember his face when I show up. He was shocked. He can't believe it because I didn't see him for I think 3 years because
Wow.
he came here. I was in Colombia, and we didn't have the opportunity to see each other in person. So we came in August 2017, and we started this adventure. We came thinking to open a business because with I was born in Venezuela, but I also have the Spanish citizenship. So with the Spanish citizenship, I was able to apply for investor visa to stay here in the US. So I came with that idea. I spent my whole life working for somebody else since I graduated from the university back in 2004, 2005. And when we decided to come into the US, I said to my wife, listen, if we are gonna go to the US, I would like to open a business to work for myself because I don't want to keep working for somebody else. Nothing again with that, but when you spend a lot of time working for somebody else, watching how another people can achieve the dream that they want to achieve, and you are part of those dreams, but it's not your dream, it's somebody else.
Yes.
So we didn't have a lot of money, but with the saving that we have in that moment, we start looking for business opportunities. We came here. It was funny because I just remember this. We arrived on August 30, I think, 2017.
Okay.
We was in a short-term rental, an Airbnb. I turned on the TV and we started watching the news to see what is going on here. And in the news, the person who was talking, he was saying, okay, everybody needs to get prepared because a major hurricane is coming to Florida.
No.
We only have 4 days here, and okay, what is going on? What we need to do right now? And that was Irma.
Okay.
So
Wow.
we was here in South Florida. We was in the middle of the way of the hurricane. We didn't know about hurricane because in South America we don't have hurricane. We have another things, but no hurricane. And we got 2 years old baby, and we saw each other, and now we are gonna do it. We don't know how to do this. And we decided just, okay, let's go to another place where suppose the hurricane don't go through. And okay, everybody, all the news was saying that hurricane will, hit South Florida. And we say, okay, let's go to Orlando. It's in the middle of Florida and nothing should happen there. We spent 7 hours to get to Orlando because everybody was like crazy going north, trying to stay safe of the
Yes.
hurricane. And we spent 7 hours to get to Orlando. And when we get to Orlando, of course, we start watching the news again. And the news say, okay, the hurricane came, changed his, I don't know what is the name here, the route or whatever he's going to go to.
Right.
And now he is going to Orlando.
Oh my gosh.
But thank God everything was fine. We stay in the hotel that we was in that moment, and everything was fine. But fun fact that we just arrived here, and the hurricane hit Florida.
Wow. You know, the
Yeah.
words that keep coming to my mind as you're talking about all of this and having your daughter is sheer perseverance. Those are the words that just keep coming to the forefront of my mind is persevere. I'm so super impressed with, well, I mean, your gratitude. I love that about every one of you in our community in South Florida. The gratitude is immense. And I think that's why I love you guys so much, because I appreciate that. And just what you were going to do, like, and you don't mess around with parents, huh? You got a little, besides everything else that you're going to fight for your life, you put this little baby into the mix and you're like, okay, we're going to do this. So, well, that's awesome. So now after you went through that, yeah, when I first got here to Florida too, I went through the Ian, and it was just the same thing. Like I'm running around like, and here it's coming there, or I went to South Florida and there was a tornado. I'm like, what is going on? What?
Yeah.
But I guess the ones that have been here forever, you know, they are going to laugh at us when we talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So did you start a business? You're here, you go back to, obviously you went through the hurricane. You're wanting to start a business. Tell me about that. And then let's move into when you found us. So.
Yeah, so we start looking for the business opportunities. We was looking for business that was already on the market for sale, but we didn't find nothing that we can invest because or they were too expensive for the amount of the money that we have in that time, or because was not the kind of business that we was looking for. So in that moment, I was working with a immigrant attorney, and he said, okay, Jonathan, you maybe can try to find a franchise because, a franchise maybe is going to be better for you. It's going to be your first business here. And a franchise is a business model that you can start working right away. And that's what we did. We started looking for a franchise. They make, we started working with a, how you call it, a franchise or advisor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They make like a professional profile to me. And he say, okay, according with your profile, these are the franchises that better fit for you and for the investment that you can make. And we decide for one franchise that is local here in South Florida. It's a cell phone and computer repair shop. In that time, when we get here, we arrive to Kendall, South Miami. Then 2 months after, we moved to North Miami, to Miami Shores. We spent there like a month. And then we moved again to Miramar. And that was the place where we stayed for 3 years. Everything here in South Florida.
Okay.
A little more north, but everything in South Florida. And with that franchise, they offered to me the opportunity to open a new store from zero here in Weston or on Sunrise. And we start making, all the analysis that we need to make. And we decide to open Weston because according with the analysis that we did, should be a better business opportunity. So by April 2018, we finally opened the store. In the middle of this happened a lot of things. We need to went to Spain twice because we can spend here more than 3 months in a
Oh,
row.
goodness.
So we went to Spain to stay with my family because we have family there. Thank God we didn't have to pay for a stay there. And we came back to the US to keep working with everything. So by April 2018, we finally got all the permits from the city and everything that we need to open the business. During February and March, I went to the franchise headquarters to get all the training because I know about business administration. I know how to run a business, but I didn't know nothing about to fix a cell phone or a computer or nothing about this. So in order to run the business, I need to learn about this. So I start learning how to open a phone, fix the phone, replace all the parts that the phone or the computer have inside. It was a really learning experience for me. I am so grateful because I have the opportunity to learn a lot of things, to know a lot, to meet with a lot of people that they help me a lot in the middle of this transition. Finally, we opened the business in April 23, April 23rd, April 23rd on 2018. And we start working as crazy in that business. I mean, we have to open every day from 10 in the morning to 8 p.m. From Monday to Sunday, even the Sunday we have to work. But you know, was my business. I was really happy to have the opportunity to start my own business. I have to, in that moment, I have two co-workers. I think one of them is here. I think Mariale is here. And was only two guys and me working there, learning about everything, because the run a business here is completely different to run a business in South America. So I need to learn how to run the business. I need to learn how to do the marketing. I need to learn how to do networking, and do everything. Was a really learning experience. I learned a lot. Was tough situation at the beginning because as everything you need to learn, you need to let everybody know that you are new in the business, that you are there. You need to start talking, as Michael said, talk to people.
Yes.
Let them know that you are there. Let them know everybody what are you doing, and trying to get customers. I remember when the first customer came to the store, we were so happy. I was shaking, but at the beginning, I mean, obviously the English is not my first language. And one of the things that I am grateful is because pretty much when we came here, I know a little bit about English, the basic stuff. But thank you to that business, I learned how to speak English. As Antonio, I am not the best guy speaking on English, but we learn everybody and we know the language of the business. So that's the important thing.
I love this.
During 2 years, I was working full time in my store, working every day. I didn't spend too much time with my family because, you know, if you have a business, you have to run the business.
Right.
And that was when I started looking for another opportunity, because it was really, you know, good have your business, running the business. But when you have to spend every day from 9 in the morning to 9 p.m. working, you don't have too much time to spend with your family. And that was my situation during 2017 and 18, because I was from Monday to Saturday, sometimes even the Sundays, working in the shop. And I almost didn't have time to see my daughter that was growing up here. Most of the time that I came to the house, she was almost sleeping, and I have to leave early in the morning. Was a hard situation, but you know, it's what it is.
Right.
So everything was going better because the business started making better. The first year was really, you know, hard,
Mhm.
because it's a new business you need to start working with. The second year was a little better. I have the opportunity to start spending a little more time. But even when you have people that you trust working with you, you still need to pay attention what is going on every day. And I always was in the shop. So because I didn't have the time that I want to spend with my family, I talked with my wife and I told her, listen, we need to find somebody else, something else, because it's fine. Thank you to this business, we start here in Florida, and thank you to the business, we have all the visa and all the papers that we need to stay here. But this is killing me because I don't have time to spend with you and with the gears. So in that moment, I started looking for another opportunities. We knew since the beginning that this first business will be something, in transition to another thing.
Right.
And that's why when I started looking for real estate, because I knew that real estate is a good business opportunity, but we have the mindset that to start a new business, you need the money to start that business.
Right.
And that was my mindset in that moment. And that was like a dream to start another business, but I didn't have the money because all the money was spending investing in my shop.
The other business.
So yeah.
And did you see that real estate could bring that time freedom that you were looking for? Is that's what a lot of us think? Yes.
Yeah.
And then, wait, now you have 2 kids. So did we have a second daughter yet? I like to keep my.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, she came in 2019. She came May 2019.
Okay. Aww.
And that was like, the motivation that you need to make the next step.
Right.
Because he came right on May. Was also for some reason baby have to born 9 months. But when she was 7 months with my wife, she started feeling some weird things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Listen, you can't do nothing. You need
bed
to stay."
rest.
Yeah. So this can happen again.
Your wife is a trooper, boy. Goodness.
Yeah, let's take it easy. Let's see what is going on. She called her mom, and she came to help us with everything here in the house. We was living that time on Miramar, and we was living in a townhouse to history. But she can go upstairs and downstairs all the time. The doctor say you can use once a day. Is the only time if you are gonna stay downstairs, okay, spend the whole day downstairs. If you are gonna stay upstairs, you need to stay upstairs. You can go and down, like usually you do, because now you have a big risk to get the baby premature as well. But she held me 1 more month, and Sarah, she was born with 35 weeks and 2 days, and was really stressful because the doctor say you need to be at least 35 weeks and 2 days, because before that the hospital is gonna send the baby to the UC, to the
like the ICU.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So with 35 weeks and 2 days, she started feeling, really discomfort, really bad. And we went to the doctor, and he said, you are going to have the baby today. And again, we start running as crazy. Thank God, everybody, this time we was, prepared. We had everything that we need.
Had some baby clothes and some
yeah.
the essentials.
Yeah. So yeah, she was born on May 28, 2019. Right, year before pandemic, thank God. And in that time was like, the final motivation that I need to start looking for something else. I start looking on 2019. I remember I went to several, you know,
Like networking?
workshops, yeah,
Okay.
networking, business, looking for business opportunity. I went to the franchise expo, business expos, and kind of like that. I went to those workshops that the people organize during the weekends. Um, but I didn't find nothing that really motivated me to change what I was doing so far. Right, let me go back. A few weeks after I opened the store, the shop, a guy came to the shop and he said, "Listen, I need to replace the battery of my phone." We replaced the battery of his phone. This is Fabio, and he invited me to a networking here in West. But I don't used to go to networking. I never went to a networking, and I didn't go to the networking. And he came back a couple of weeks after, and he said, "Listen, Jonathan, you didn't went to the networking. What happened?" And I told him, "Fabio, I was really busy. I can't make it. I will go to the next one." And he said, "Okay, perfect. We are every Wednesday." And I say, "Okay, I can miss the next one because I know that if I miss this one, he will be back to the shop to invite me again." But let me tell you something. This was like, when God put the things in your way. I went to that networking and I met so many people. Everybody was open and willing to help you with whatever you need to ask them or with whatever business experience you need to share with them.
Jonathan, hold on, Jonathan.
Hey,
Did you say Fabio, right? Fabio right here.
How are you, man?
Yo, Jonathan, ¿qué hubo, equipo? ¿Cómo le va? ¿Está hablando inglés o en español? En español, en inglés. Hi, everybody. Jonathan, you're doing a great job, man. You have
Thank
learned
you.
what it is to network. And I'm glad you're doing so well and you're very successful and now you're sharing your experiences. Congratulations. Very proud of you,
Thank you.
man. He's
Thank
my
you.
pupilo. He's learning more than me now. He now can teach me many things. So that's good. Thank you very much to Antonio and everybody. We're
Thank
here,
you.
continue to working for our community. And Jonathan, congratulations. Keep going, my man.
Thank you, Fabio.
Pa'lante.
So that guy over there, he invited me to the networking, and I went to the networking, and I met so good people there. People from Venezuela, Colombia, South America, people from here, from the US. And everybody was willing to share with you what was their experience so far in business and doing, working for self-employment. And in that networking, I met one day, I was sitting in the networking, a lady came for first time and she sits next to me. This was early in August 2019. And we start talking and I asked her, "What did you do?" And she said, "I am a real estate professional. I'm a realtor and I also a real estate investor." And I told her, "Okay, we need to have a one-on-one. Right after the meeting, we have that one-on-one." And she say, "Okay, I am part of a real investor community nationwide, but we also have local groups here. And actually, we are gonna meet tomorrow in our office here in Davie, in South Florida." And I remember that because I was working in the shop, I can make it that Thursday. But I told her, "Okay, I'm gonna get commitment with you. I'm gonna go the next week." And I went, and that's what I met this guy over there, Antonio. He was making a presentation in the room. And I say to myself, "Okay, this is what I was looking for," because, before that, I went to those workshops and seminars that some of these real estate guru organized. I remember that I went to one of them here in Fort Lauderdale. That was a sponsorship for one of those TV programs that they make speaks and clips, and I was so impressed because you see these people on the TV and now you are sharing with these people, But at the same time, I was disappointed because when the workshop finished and I turned around to go back, to get out of the room, at the end of the room, there was a big table, like with 6, 7 people with credit card machines, asking to the people to buy the thing that they was trying to sell. And I guess I was one of those persons because I didn't have the money to spend the money that they used to charge you for that coaching and support that they offer. And I remember that they offered to me, listen, we have a special package. If you pay right now $8,000, you can come to our full weekend workshop and seminar. You are gonna learn a lot of things. You are gonna learn this and this and this. And I was so, how you call it? Inocente in Spanish, innocent, that I say,
Vulnerable,
okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I won't say desperate, but I was looking for something. I mean,
Right.
I need it. And I say, okay, I can put this $1,000 in my credit card and I will pay the credit card. I will find a way to pay the credit card.
Aw.
And I paid it. And I only went one day and I was so disappointed because all the time they was talking about the things that they can offer to you, but all the time was about money. You can do this with us. We are gonna support you with this, but you need to pay this and that and that and that. Hey, this is not what I'm looking for. I need somebody who is gonna be with me, helping me, because I am the kind of person that before jumping to the water, I need to know how to swim. I know that another person is gonna jump to the water and learn how to swim in the water, but I am the kind of person that like to, get educated about what I need to do before jumping to the water. So I was disappointed. I just left that place, and I asked, listen, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be here the whole weekend, so I want my money back. And they say, no, that won't happen. We can give you the money back because you already paid. You already spent one day with us. And after some back and forth, I recovered the half of the money that I paid. But I was disappointed because I went with the idea to find something that will help me to get the foundation to start another business on real estate. Some of my friends say, listen, you need to get the real estate license if you want to start a real estate business. But I was completely clear that I don't want to be a real estate agent. I want to work in real estate as a business, not just working for somebody else, because in
Right.
some way, when you are a real estate agent, you are working for somebody else.
Right.
But Ariane, who is the person who invited me to Renatus,
I love her.
was my angel. She introduced me to Renatus. She introduced me to Antonio, and only took me 2 meetings, and I made the decision to join Renatus.
Wow. This is an incredible story, because how many people do you think, even maybe some of our listeners, go looking for hope every day, looking for hope with different groups or different, and just sometimes they're not going to find that hope. Or it comes with a high price tag and then it's not there afterwards. So I really appreciate you sharing that, because I think it happens a lot. So, okay, so you met these guys, and this is what, August of 2019 or so? So your baby
Right. This
born?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was August 2019. I remember I went to the office, was a lady on the front, and I saw a lot of people coming into the office, and I said to me, okay, this should be something that the people is interesting, because this is a full room. I remember this was of kind of warehouse, but with different rooms to make all the meetings. And first time I went to the big meeting, but there were like 60 or 70 people there. So I okay, this is interesting. And then I remember a guy started talking, Liam, and
Yeah.
he introduced everybody. And he started talking about the Renatus community. And he said, okay, the people who is gonna be here for first time, he's gonna stay with me here in this room. The people who already is part of the community, they are gonna go to that room downstairs to do the study club. And the people who is coming for a second or third time is going to another place. And when I saw a lot of people going to the study club room, and I say, okay, all these people is already here doing this, and they say, yes, they are students, they are part of the community. And we stay around 25 people in the main room, and the other people went to another different rooms. And he started talking about who they are, who is the company, what means to be part of Renatus. And I say, okay, this is getting interesting now because these guys are here, they are in South Florida. That means that if I need any support, they are here, I can talk with them. I can reach somebody. And he explained everything that we explained right now on the meetings. When he started talking about education, that was like, okay, this is what I am looking, because I don't want to jump on the water
Without knowing how to swim.
Yeah. So I spent the 2 hours in the meeting. Then I start talking with the people there. I remember I talked with Antonio, I talked with Leon, I talked with Julian, I talked with Roberto. I started talking with a lot of people, and I came back home and I say to my wife, I like what I saw today, because this is people who is working here. Is people from South America, is people here from the US, is people from everywhere. They are working this. I start looking for it. I start looking for the Renatus education and for everything. As everything, you can read good things and people who doesn't have good experience as well. But I recommend to everybody, you need to do your own research. You need to do your own due diligence. Just don't believe what the people say, even if it's a good thing or a bad thing. You need to make your own opinion in your own. So, and that's what I start looking. I start doing my own research. They invite me for a property tour that I was holding here during the weekend on, I remember, Miami Gardens. And Cesar and Pfizer were Cypher were the two guys holding that property tour that weekend. And I went there, and they start talking about the numbers, how they found the property, how they find the money to purchase the property. And I start thinking, this is amazing. These guys they don't even use their own money to purchase the property. If they can make it, anybody with the right knowledge and education can make it. So after that meeting, they invite me to the follow-up. I remember the follow-up was with Antonio. By the end of the follow-up, I stay in the room, and we start talking. He started telling me all the benefit of being part of the Renatus community. And I told him, okay, this is what I was looking for. And I am ready. I don't have the money, but I want to start. And he started helping me how to find the money to start with the Renatus education. And the rest is, I guess, is history.
Wow.
Because since then I start watching classes as crazy,
And so when you first started, I know I love the story because this was us before pre-COVID. We had all of our South Florida was packed, Atlanta was packed, we were all packed, and then bam. So you survived all of that. So what was your experience with as you started taking the classes? I mean, obviously I know some of them are just absolutely incredible.
Yes, I remember I was in my shop with my iPad on a side, and I was working in the shop and listening the classes at the same time. I remember that in that time I started listening the radio when I was driving, and all what I was listening on my car was the classes. So I started spending all the time that I can spend watching the classes. I remember I am new here. And everybody say to you, hey, listen, you need to build credit because everything here in the US is about the credit that the person has. And one of the first classes that I watched was understanding credit. That helped me a lot to understand how I was able to, even living here for a few years,
Mhm.
how to start building my credit and my business credit in that time. I realized that I was doing some things in the wrong way, and I start doing the things in the right way because everybody say to you, you need to apply to this credit card and to this credit card because with those credit cards you are going to start building your credit, but nobody knows or not everybody knows that not all the credit cards are good. Some of them are and some of them don't too much.
Right.
So I start learning all those stuff and working on that, even for myself, my wife, and the business. And even when I started, we was using another back office. I don't remember the name of that back office right now, but I remember that in that back office, I was as crazy working, watching the classes, taking notes. Few weeks after I joined to the community, Jeff came to teach us the no toilet tenants or termites class.
Was it Jeff
And
Armstrong?
Jeff after
No,
he came,
yes.
he came. In that time, we have two offices. We have Davie and Miami office, and he came to Miami office. And when we went to watch that guy teaching how you are able to make money without owning the property and just holding the paper, I said, this is crazy. This is amazing. I want to make this in the future. And
That
I
is
start talking. Yeah, it's amazing what you can learn. So when I start watching so many strategies that you can implement in real estate, you say, okay, I need to stay focused and know what I need to do because it's too many things that you can learn. So I start talking with the people in the community and they say, okay, you need to, you need to watch some classes and in order to know what strategy you want to start working with.
That's really good advice because we do have so many directions that we can go in. So
Yeah.
awesome.
I was really commitment with what I want to achieve, that every meeting that Antonio, Julian, and everybody was invited to me, I was going there.
So you were plugging in. That's awesome.
Yes, I was connected with the people, with the community. I trying to make it. By the end of 2019, Ariana and Antonio, they say, listen, Jonathan, we have an opportunity to work with a property here in Fort Lauderdale. And if you want to be part of the deal, you can be part of the deal. And the first thing that happened to my mind was, but I don't have the money.
Right.
And Antonio say, okay, you need to watch this class and this class. You need to you need to watch velocity banking. You need to see another class. And that's what I did. And he say, okay, after you watch the class, you are gonna go to the bank and you are gonna ask for a business line of credit. I remember that in less than a week, I watched both classes and I went to the bank and I applied for the business line of credit because in that time, I already have 2 years of tax returns with the company, with my business.
Wow.
And they request for the tax return, they request for all the papers. And few days after, they call me and they say, Jonathan, you are approved, your business is approved for the business line of credit. And that was the way that I found the money to invest in my first real estate deal.
That
And
is
I
so
was,
cool.
yeah. When they invite me to be part of the deal, I say, okay, tell me whatever I need to do just because even if I can, be a partner, or a financial partner, I just want to be involved because this is going to be a really learning experience for me.
Learning, yes.
But yes, that was the way. I didn't have the money, but we learned how to find the money.
This is so exciting because some people talk about building business credit forever, and you really are so inspiring because you just said, okay, I need to take these classes. You're never too busy. You figured it out. Like, you wanted the knowledge so you could swim, and then you surrounded yourself with incredible people that we all love. I'm just super excited and happy and grateful that we're all part of this community. Thank you so much. So there you go. And you've done a lot of things since then. So
yeah, that was the first deal. 25.
And
We
that
start
was
with
still
that deal.
before COVID hit.
Yeah, just before
Okay.
COVID. But they explained to me that this is gonna take some time because the person who was living here, he lived there for many years.
Okay.
He passed away, and actually this was a probate deal. So we use another class, which is Chris Alvin class,
Right.
to find this deal, and we knew that it will take a few months before we can put that property back on the market because the exit strategy that we want to use was a fix and flip. But COVID hit, and when we was in middle of the rehabbing, the city closed. And it was my first deal. I was like, okay, I hope you know what we need to do. And I remember Antonio and Ariane say, okay, we know what to do, but this is new for everybody.
Exactly.
This is a new thing for everybody. So the only thing that we can try to do is keep working on the property with the things that we need to that we can do. But for the other things, we need the city permit. The city was closed, so any permit that you need to pull from the city, you need to leave the request in the mailbox, and they will contact you. Who knows where. But long short history, even with COVID pandemic and everything, we finished that project by June 2020, and we was able to sell that property by the end of July 2020. Thank you to the education, thank you to the knowledge that we learned with this education and with the experience of Antonio and everything that we was involved in this transaction, we was able to make money still with all the situations. If we want a magic, like a crystal ball to know what will happen in the future, we are pretty sure that we will be holding this property for a long time and making a little more.
Right.
But we still did it well. Yeah.
That's so awesome. I know when that all happened, we were all like, what is going on? And I remember feeling so grateful that we all were surrounded by such knowledge with our instructors and things because we didn't know what was going on. So that's an awesome story that you guys pushed through. And right during, I think that time is when we merged the teams to TGIF. We had no idea what we just knew that we weren't going to stop pushing the people, as Antonio likes to say.
Yeah. Thank God we was working this together because, for somebody who is just starting a new business and something like this happens, you don't know what to do. Probably just try to get out of the deal, try to sell the property as was in that moment, to try to get your money back because everybody was like crazy and nobody will know. Yeah. But thank you to this community and the knowledge, we was able to do it well.
That is awesome. So we've got a couple questions coming in, but I want to kind of take us through up until today. I guess they're saying, how long did it take you to have a return on that investment?
Well, that was a fix and flip project, meaning that we purchase the property, we fix it, and we sell it. And even with the COVID on the middle, this take around 8 months, 9 months to finish the project and to sell the property. So I will say roughly 8, 9 months.
That's
to get the money.
amazing. That's incredible in light of everything that was going on. Because I did a lot of flips before COVID and they took that long without a pandemic going on. So
Yeah.
that is amazing. So I know that you we'll get right back into these questions. I want to ask a couple and then I'll take you guys back to these questions. So I know that you've just had a few closings. I mean, I'm super proud of you. I don't know any details, but so how many or what, I guess after that happened, you were still studying, you were still okay, pushing. It sounds like it's been life-changing for you and giving you what you were looking for, which
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for. How many deals have you done? And is there anything in particular that you want to share about has it, and I guess what kinds of deals have they been? More flips? Are you holding any properties now? Those kinds of things, and we'll go back and grab these questions while you're answering that.
Yes, we do hold 2 doors right now, but after this deal, and all the things going on with the COVID, I need to spend again time in my other business, in my shop, because it was demanding my time again there.
Right.
So I went back to that business, and I spent the rest of the 2020 with the middle of the pandemic and all this in that business. But in 2021, I told to my wife and I told her, listen, I think we should just focus on real estate because we did it well with the first deal, and I know that if we are commitment with this, we can make it. So we decided to sell that business, to sell the shop. We start working to put everything together to in order to offer a really good business opportunity to somebody else, and that's what we did. We improved the business to offer that business to somebody else to buy it. By the end of 2021, we sold that business, and I was able to start working full time with real estate. Really short, but that's what
that is so cool. So you're a full-time real estate investor
now. Yes.
Proud father of 2.
Yeah. Now, yes. So to answer the question, I have been doing some wholesaling.
Okay.
I have been doing that fix and flip. We have a property here in La Ciudad que Más Progresa in Hialeah, the best city here in Miami. That is the initial project with that property that I hold with Antonio and Ariana as well is a short-term rental, but right now this is a long-term rental because we are waiting for the city permits, to make all the improvement that we need to do with that property. But we have tenants there, so they are paying rent. By the end of, this is funny because 2022 was a transition year for me. Keep learning new stuff, keep learning new things, and trying to implement that things that I was learning. I need to be completely honest, like everybody maybe happen in life when you are learning something, sometimes you want to learn and learn and learn, and you don't take action about what you're learning. And that happened to me at the beginning in 2022, because I was, so enthusiastic watching my classes and learning, but I didn't take action in the first month of the year. And I see, okay, I don't have the other business. If I don't move, I gonna, I'm gonna get out of money. Yeah.
I know that feeling too. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So I start looking for the properties. I start looking for business opportunities. I start driving for dollars. I start doing all the things that we learn. At the beginning was a little, like you want to make it, but don't happen. And you start feeling like, okay, what I am doing wrong, maybe I'm doing something wrong. but we need to understand that we are learning something, and we need to spend the time that we need. But thank God, 2022 we closed the year better. So I did I am right now in the middle of 2 transactions. I am doing a wholesale deal. Really learning experience because I never wholesale a land, because this is land. This is an 11-acre lot that I found in North Fort Myers right before Ian. I put the property on the contract, and the idea was do a wholesale deal because I don't know how to develop that land and nothing. So I started looking for somebody who wants that piece of land, and Ian hit the west coast of Florida, and everybody started saying, "Okay, we need to wait some time to see what happens." The people that I was interested in that moment, they say, "Jonathan, it's a good deal, but we, just the hurricane just hit Fort Myers. We need to see what is going on there and what will happen the next month." And I start like, okay, I need to do something because time is running, and I need to close this deal. And I talked with Antonio, and I say to Antonio, I have this deal. What do you think we can do? And he say, okay, I don't have too much experience doing, land, but let's see what we can do. And we start working with, and he helped me to find somebody to assign that deal. And I say it's been a really learning experience because in that piece of land, there is 2 units, and those units have tenants on each one. And when I went there the first time, I saw a lot of potential because, 11 acres is a lot of space. But also they have that like a trash garbage, because you can see trash for everywhere, but you can see the potential. And when everything was ready to assign the contract, we will close that contract on January 6th. 2 days before the title company was checking that everything was fine, we found that the tenants, they filed a claim of lien on the property because they say that they fixed the property and the owner owes money to them, and we need to move the closing. But before that happened, we start working with these people, to try them to move out the property. We need to file the eviction. With this deal, I have been doing so many things that I never imagined that I will need to do for a wholesale deal. But so far it's going, I would say, well. Everything seems to be working. Also doing my driving for dollar and cold calling. I found another property on Pompano Beach by the end of the year. I started talking with this person, and she said, yes, actually, we are trying to fix the property to see if we can put some tenants, or maybe we can sell the property if you can come up with a good offer. And we start talking, we start negotiating. Fun fact, December 26th, just in the middle of the holidays, I called Antonio and I told him, Antonio, I have this appointment with this person. Are you able to come in to see the property? And he said, yes, sure, I am here in town, so let's go. December 26th, Monday, we was at 11 in the morning watching the property. We saw a really good potential with this property. And the next day I have the property under contract. So my idea was to do another wholesale deal with this property. Easier because no tenants, nobody living there. This is gonna be an easy wholesale. And he said to Antonio, okay, Antonio, I'm ready to wholesale the property. And he said, but we can find a way to keep you in the deal and be part of the deal. And he helped me to find a way to be part of the deal. So this is the second door that I am holding right now. We start working on that property. Yeah, a week ago we went to floor and decor. We purchased the floor to start putting the floor. Actually, we went last week and they already put the floor on the property. Ariane went to the kitchen company. They already designed a new kitchen for the house. And we are working with this one. We are gonna convert in a short-term rental because no HOA, 12 minutes from the beach, really close to the one of the main ways here in South Florida, the US one. And this is the second door that we are holding right now. Yeah.
Wow. That is so amazing.
And the best part with this deal, sorry I interrupt you, David, but the best part, the only thing that I did is I found the property, I negotiated the property, I put it on the contract. I didn't need to put any money in this property.
That's incredible. That is amazing. You are truly so inspiring, and I feel like a product of our product. So when we always say that we are EPIC, so we're education, property, income, community, and that's what I'm hearing from you, that it works.
Yeah.
And the community is amazing. So proud of you. We've got some questions. I'm going to try to keep us on track here. So one was your education investment. So you, I guess, invested in our the X combo. Is that
I started with the X combo, yeah.
okay?
Last year I upgraded to the EPIC combo.
Okay. So your initial investment was the 20 under 20.
My initial investment was roughly the 20,000.
And I guess so for me, that was the same. And I started the end of 2015, and they've added quite a few classes since then. And they didn't send me a bill and ask me to pay more.
Right. They used some classes. They added some classes to the essential and to the AAT package.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay nothing. I mean, one of the best decisions that I made in my life was join to this community, because thank you to this, we are holding 2 doors right now. The only money that I have invested right now in 2 doors is only $35,000. How can you invest only $35,000 and holding 2 houses, 2 properties? The only way is if you get educated, if you connect with the right people that is willing to help you to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And of course, you need to be committed with the goals that you want to achieve, because one of the things that I saw in our community is everybody is willing to help you, but of course you need to be committed to make your own.
That is amazing. And you have shown that. So, and that's the kind of people that I think we really have. And that's the kind of people we're looking for in our community. You took action, and I appreciate your honesty in what you said, because this happens to all of us. I mean, I bet if we talk to Antonio, or it happens to me, where you get kind of in a stuck, like, okay, even though you've done this or you've done that, I think that's normal. And you have to keep pushing and learning something new, or maybe a pandemic comes or something changes or the city closes down, you can't get any permits. You've got to keep figuring out how to pivot. And you're such a fantastic example of that. You have inspired me and really kicked my weekend off very well. I love this. I'm so proud of you. That is amazing. So let's see. So how was the deal that you did not put money, is this question from Jose and Juana?
Well, I found the property. I put the property under contract. My initial exit strategy for that property was wholesaling the property. And I present that property to Antonio because, you know, he's my partner in another deal. He's somebody who I really trust. And I told him, Antonio, I have this property. Are you interested in this one? And he say, yes, Jonathan, I'm interested in the property. Let's see what we can do. And since the beginning, he told me, if we can find a way to make you part of the deal, will you be interested in stay with us in the deal? And I told him, yeah, of course, I will stay on the deal with you and with Ariane in this case. So the amazing thing about this is when you find people who is working with this business and they understand the business, and they are willing to make partnerships, that this is the thing that you can achieve. So I found the property, Ariane, she put the down payment, and Antonio found the other part of the money to close the deal. So we are partnered in that way. We are partnered on that deal.
That is incredible, because that does happen all over the country, really, in our community. But the things that I think you have given us without any prompting from me or anyone, you've shown us the example that because you were willing to invest in yourself, so you all have the same knowledge, you're willing to actually take the action and study and bring some knowledge yourself. You didn't just expect them to spoon feed you. You were like, okay, I've taken this class. I love that. And then Antonio's like, well, go back and take this class. I just am so grateful that we have this in our lives. And you're just the prime example of it. You're my poster child for today, Jonathan. It's so amazing. That is so cool. I'm looking to see if we have any other questions. We've got, you guys, we've got about 11 minutes. I want to ask one more question, then I'll let you guys, we'll open it up if everybody won't talk at once. But we also have something, and we don't have to go, we can invite people back to learn about this, but we have something called a wealth cycle. And I think that you have seen value in that or participated in that as well, which is really how we keep growing our community and bringing in the resources and finding people like you that add such value. So together we're so much stronger. And I just want to make sure that we speak about that for a moment. And Estelle, I see you asked that question. I'm sorry, honey. In the very beginning, he said that he had a computer repair and phone repair business. So,
Right.
And then that was the business that he sold. So when he first came to the country, he was looking for a business. So yeah, that I'll send you the recording, Estelle, and you can hear about that. Yeah, so you're almost 5-star. That's awesome. Lewis wants to know, which courses besides the fundamentals did you take?
Short-term rental classes. I took short-term rental day 1, day 2, day 3, because each day they make he explained to us different things. So in order to put in place this new project, I took short-term rental classes. I also took fix and flip. I take sometimes I like to watch classes that I am thinking to implement in the future. So for example, right now I am watching action analysis, and I'm watching also tax link and tax deed, because I think that is another good way to find good property.
I'm watching auction analysis too.
Yeah. So, but yes, quick answer. Short-term rentals, long-term rentals, fix and flip. I saw all the contract classes, private money and hard money, because we need to find the money. Also, in order to offer to another person how they can use their retirement plan to invest in real estate, because I know some people who can do that. I watch also the class from Mark Sorensen, understanding retirement IRA fund, retirement plan for everything. So I didn't see the 90-something classes that we have, because it's a lot of classes. But I so far I have been watching a lot of classes. I love.
Yeah, I love the fact that we have all of those classes in our toolbox in case something does come across our desk. And I had somebody ask me to teach a CE class or something on something I know nothing about. And I was like, hang on, cost segregation. you know, the 1031 exchange, I'm like, well, let me just jump in this class real quick and see if I can help you. So does anyone want to come out? I know you guys are super proud of Jonathan. I am. I'm grateful. And I don't want us all to talk at once, but we do have 8 minutes. So if you want to kind of raise your hand, or if you guys want to say anything to him or ask questions unmuted, you're welcome to. I would love to hear, I know he would love to hear from you because
I maybe missed something that you guys that are with me weekly basis maybe remember.
Hello.
But I think.
hi, Greg.
Hey y'all. I'm at work, but I figured I'd really like to say then to Jonathan that, you know, I mean, Princess and I are starting out, and he's such a motivation to see all of what he shares. His energy that he gives to the community is just amazing. And you know, I want to follow that same path, you know, and he gives me so much encouragement to hear his story as far as, you know, how he started, you know, and how he had no money, and you know, all of those things that go along with it. Because a lot of times, as we, you know, we're ICMs, that's the first thing we hear is we don't have no money. And Antonio is one of the stories that I will be proudly using as far as, you know, sharing that people start with no money and look at where they're at today. And I just get a joy out of hearing so much of Antonio speaking. I mean, or Jonathan. They go hand in hand, I guess, right?
Yes,
But
me
to
too.
hear to hear Jonathan and his growth, because Princess and I are really looking forward to excelling in Renata's community, as well as, you know, prospering and providing our own story.
I
So
can't
Jonathan,
wait.
I really want to commend you. I want to thank you for all that you share and all the encouragement that you give.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
You are amazing.
Yes, you guys are amazing. You guys show up, and that's what it takes. Just show up.
I remember the first time that I came because was Sandra making the presentation and I was
Mhm.
helping her. And I remember when I met him, Greg and Princess, and they were so committed. They came to, I think was the regional, right?
Yes,
Or
yes.
resolving.
Yeah.
Resolving, I
I
think.
think they came to both.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We did, and we met up at the restaurant.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Thank
And
you.
we're already ready and geared up for Utah.
Nationals. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't
Front
wait to
right,
see you
baby.
there.
Front
Yes,
right.
front right. So for you guys, guests on the line, we have a national convention that we go to once a year. So that's where we get to see our the rest of our I told you we are big, or we're a small piece of a nationwide community. So we will see each other there. So I think Sandra, one of my lovely favorites, wants to say something. Hi, honey.
Hi, how are you? I am so proud of Jonathan because Jonathan is a very young person and he has made it. I mean, most of the people that come looking for a real estate investor, to be a real estate investor, would like to be in the position that he is. He didn't want to trade his time and his family, and he has found a way to do that. I started at the same time with Jonathan to the meetings when we had 60 people and stuff like that. And I see him grow so fast. And what I can say about Jonathan is that Jonathan he's very constant. He's always there. I mean, in the office, whenever somebody needs help, he's the first one that is there. And the funny thing is that you're going to think, oh, he's very talkative. No, actually, he's very quiet. So you always look around and you're like, oh, Jonathan, hey, we can do this. And it's so amazing. We've been to Idaho to the meeting in June. It was fun to be with him because his story is just amazing for people that come from other countries to be able to be real estate investors in just, when did he say, 2017? I mean, in 5 years, who can say I have my own time? Most people don't. So I love his story. I love Jonathan. He knows it. It's amazing to have him as one of my best friends in the community, and I really enjoy your talk this morning. So thank you, Jonathan, for being our friend.
Thank
Aw,
you. You are amazing. We love you. We miss you.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you.
Sandra. I love our community. So Andres, do you want to come? You have,
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say thank you for sharing your experience, Jonathan, and thank you for always being there. You know, you're a staple. Like Sandra said, you're always there, and I'm very appreciative of that. You know, all that you do in our local community. And I want to say, you know, everybody, you know, a cash flow, right? Like Bill says, cash flow is the name of the game. But a lot of times, a lot of people forget about, you know, yeah, cash flow, baby, boom. But a lot of times we forget that we can also, you know, increase our cash flow by paying less taxes and less interest. And I want to, you know, ask a question, Jonathan. You know, a question was asked about the return on investment on your education. With what you have saved in taxes and interest, how much of that was recuperated, you know, and how much time did it take you to recuperate a lot of that with what you saved in taxes and with interest?
You know, most people ask me that, and my answer is different for each case, because at the beginning I was working in another business, but since the first time I started applying the education to that business, because no matter what business you are, you can start saving on interest, you can start saving on taxes, and you can start or learn how to use your money in a different way as you teach every Thursday to, you know, to maximize the use of your resource. So in less than a year, I recovered my investment because I started implementing the education and because I started working right away on real estate because with the first project that we work. And one thing that I didn't mention, but when you are, you know, connected with people like you guys who is working with this, who is, you know, putting all your effort in this, and you are knowledgeable people and you are connected with this community who is nationwide. In the last weeks, I have been listening Bill Omi talk about mobile homes, and Antonio already know this because I spoke with him a few days ago about this. If I can wholesale that deal on Norfolk Meyer, my another exit strategy could be, because I know about I have been connected with this, that maybe it is possible to turn that property into a mobile home parking. So that is another strategy. I don't know if David is here on the room, but I spoke with this with David yesterday. That's another strategy that we can use, but the only way to know that is if you are connected with the right people and you have the knowledge and education that you need, because otherwise you only have one exit strategy and you don't know what else to do. But that's another amazing thing that you can learn.
that is incredible. Wow. And that's true. We just together we're so powerful with when we come into our masterminds or deal or no deal or whatever it is that we're doing. And since you started, since through COVID, one of the silver linings is that we have study groups online with the corporate facilitating that now. And then we can have the local offices. It's just amazing. And if you show up and you plug in and you take your classes, then we have a story like yours. So inspiring. We're at time, and I've already got, for those of you that are waiting for the next thing, we have a property tour in Orlando live at 11:30 and on Zoom. But this event has just touched my heart. And so if you're a guest here, I really would like to invite you to come back and get to know us better. If you're local in South Florida, go see these guys. They are my absolute favorites. I adore them. I'm so grateful that I get to do live with them. We're also live in Atlanta on Thursdays, and we're live in Orlando. But again, there's other people all over the country that have their own stuff. So get with us. On Tuesdays, we do Deal or No Deal with Bill Omi. He's one of our instructors. He's part of our team. We're so lucky. So show up, keep vetting us out, and get back with the person that invited you here and see what you can do next. Because as you can tell, look what it's done for Jonathan. thank you so much. You have just made my day and touched my heart. This is going to be incredible, and we'll have an amazing recording for you to share with
you.
people. So thank you. I'm going to let us go now, but again, my heart is full. You filled my cup. I appreciate all of you. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. If you want to come on our Orlando property tour, just message the person that invited you here. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week. I'll see you at the team call on Monday. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Jonathan.
Bye. Thank you.
Go enjoy your
Great day, everybody.
family.
All right, have a great day.
Bye.